Welcome to Once Up English Channel. Today's story is The Brave Little Fish. Enjoy listening. Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast and colorful ocean, there lived a small, shimmering fish named Finn. His scales glimmered like silver in the sunlight, a beautiful sight among the coral. But Finn often felt small and insignificant compared to the larger fish of the sea. While others swam gracefully in large schools, Finn was always left behind, struggling to keep up. The bigger fish swam fast, creating swirls of water with their powerful tails, and Finn had to dart between the currents just to stay close. Finn lived in the Coral Kingdom, a vibrant reef teeming with life. Brightly colored fish darted through the coral, octopuses weaved in and out of the caves, and dolphins often leaped joyfully over the waves. The reef was safe, and the elders of the school always advised staying within the coral's protective embrace. The elders would say, "The ocean is beautiful but dangerous, Finn. Stay close to the coral and don't venture too far. The larger fish will protect you." Finn was often discouraged by this advice. He felt that there was more to the world than just the coral. Beyond the safety of the reef, the ocean stretched endlessly, a vast, mysterious place full of unknowns. He dreamed of seeing sea mountains, towering structures of rock and coral rising from the ocean floor. He longed to explore hidden caves, to swim past the thick forests of kelp, and discover what lay beyond the coral. Finn's dreams were filled with adventure, yet he hesitated. After all, how could a small fish like him ever venture out into such a vast, dangerous world? Every now and then, Finn would watch Luna, a sleek and playful dolphin, leap joyfully over the waves, her body glistening under the sun. Luna had a spirit of adventure, and she always spoke of the wonders beyond the reef. "Come with me, Finn," she would call. "There's so much more to see. You're never too small for adventure." But Finn was filled with doubt. He was just a little fish. What if the currents were too strong? What if he got lost? What if there were dangers lurking that he couldn't escape from? The bigger fish in the school laughed at him when he expressed his wishes. "You'll never make it out there," they'd say. "You're just too small." Yet, deep down, Finn knew that if he stayed in the reef forever, he would never truly see the world he dreamed of. One bright afternoon, as the school of fish swam near the edge of the coral reef, the water suddenly grew cold. A heavy shadow cast across the ocean floor, and the light that usually danced through the water dimmed. Finn's heart began to race, and the water seemed to pulse with an eerie stillness. The fish in the school grew tense, sensing danger before they saw it. A shark, sleek and dark, appeared out of the depths. Its cold eyes glittered like polished stones, and its sharp teeth flashed as it glided silently through the water. The shark was large. Its body moved with the precision of a hunter, and its presence alone struck terror into the hearts of the school. The fish scattered. The larger fish swam quickly, sending up plumes of bubbles, while the smaller fish darted for cover in the coral. Finn's heart hammered in his chest. But instead of fleeing like the others, his eyes caught sight of something. A small clownfish was stuck between two jagged rocks. The clownfish flailed helplessly, unable to free itself. The shark was closing in, its dark shadow growing larger and larger. The other fish, including the bigger ones, were too afraid to act. They hid behind the rocks, their eyes wide with fear. The elders, though wise, remained paralyzed by the threat. But Finn, though terrified, could not ignore the helpless clownfish. Without thinking, Finn darted toward the rocks, weaving between the coral and braving the sharp edges. The shark's cold eyes fixed on him, and it began to swim faster, ready to strike. The water was thick with tension, but Finn's resolve was clear. He had to help. Finn slipped through the narrow gap between the rocks where the clownfish was trapped. The shark was closing in, its jaws opening wide. For a moment, Finn felt the icy grip of fear in his chest. But then he saw the clownfish, eyes wide with terror, and he knew he couldn't turn back. He pushed with all his might, using his small body to squeeze the clownfish free. The shark lunged, its teeth snapping dangerously close, but Finn acted quickly. Grabbing the clownfish by the tail, he swam with all his speed, darting between jagged rocks and weaving through the narrowest of passages. The shark, frustrated by the tiny fish's agility, snapped at the water, but Finn was too fast. Together, they emerged into a small cove where the shark could not follow. Both Finn and the clownfish were breathless, but safe. They had outrun the predator, and the shadow of the shark faded away into the depths. When Finn and the clownfish finally emerged from the crevice, the rest of the school had begun to regroup. The larger fish swam cautiously out from behind the coral, their eyes wide with relief. "You did it, Finn! You saved that fish all on your own," said Coral, one of the biggest and fastest fish in the school. She was panting, still shaken from the encounter. "We were all too scared to act, but you were brave." Finn felt a warmth spread through his heart, but his smile was humble. "I just did what needed to be done." The elders, who had been frozen in fear, swam forward, their expressions filled with awe. Walina, the wise old whale, who had watched over the school for years, approached Finn and gently nudged him with her massive fin. "Finn, you have shown us something remarkable today. Bravery does not come from size or strength. It comes from the heart. You have proven that even the smallest among us can be a hero." Finn felt his chest swell with pride. He hadn't acted to gain praise, but to do what was right. "It was the right thing to do," Finn said quietly. The clownfish, still trembling but now safe, swam up to Finn. "Thank you. You didn't have to help me, but you did. You're a true hero." Finn smiled gently. "I may be small, but I'll always try to do what's right." From that day forward, Finn was no longer seen as just the small fish at the edge of the school. He became a symbol of courage and determination. The other fish began to look up to him, not because he was the biggest, but because he had the biggest heart. He was no longer afraid to swim beyond the safety of the reef. Luna often accompanied him on his adventures, and together they explored the mysteries of the ocean. Finn showed his friends the beauty of the open ocean, from the towering sea mountains, where the water sparkled with mysterious creatures, to the glowing bioluminescent caves that lit up the night like stars. Finn's world was no longer limited to the small, safe corners of the coral reef. He had found the courage to embrace the vast and wondrous ocean. And so, the little fish who had once felt too small to make a difference became a leader, teaching others that true courage doesn't come from size, it comes from the heart. The ocean, vast and full of wonders, was now his to explore, and Finn knew that no matter where he went, his bravery would guide him. If you found this helpful, give us a like, share with others, and don't forget to subscribe for more useful English tips and lessons.